दोस्तों 360 डिग्री में मैं हमेशा आपको नई कंपनीज से मिलवाता हूं विच आर द इमर्जिंग कंपनीज ऑफ इंडिया एंड आई रिपीटिंग माय सेंटेंस कि इंडिया को बिल्डअप करने के लिए यही कंपनीज इंडिया को बिल्ड कर रही हैं एंड दे आर द ग्रोथ स्टोरी ऑफ इंडिया। आज हम मिलने जा रहे हैं थिंकिंग हैट्स एंटरटेनमेंट सॉल्यूशंस लिमिटेड। इनका ऑफिस मुंबई में भी है और नोएडा उत्तर प्रदेश में भी है, which is basically nothing but the NCR, which is known as the National Capital Region. And the company is into a lot of verticals and we are going to meet a very dynamic. तो दोस्तों मैं आपको मिलवाने जा रहा हूं मिस्टर गौरव सिंघानिया से, जो टाइम डायरेक्टर है। इसके बारे में बता दूं कि ये कंपनी इज कमिंग अप विद द आईपीओ और ये आईपीओ आ रहा है 15 करोड़ का इशू है। 25th of September to 27th of September को खुल रहा है और एंड हो रहा है 27th of September को। लॉट साइज होगा 3000 शेयर्स का इन द प्राइस बैंड ऑफ 42 to 44 रुपीज। दोस्तों चलिए मिलते हैं द मोस्ट डायनामिक एंड द होल टाइम डायरेक्टर मिस्टर गौरव सिंघानिया से। गौरव जी, आपका इस प्रोग्राम में स्वागत है।
थैंक यू राजेश सर, थैंक यू।
गौरव साहब, आई विल स्टार्ट विद योर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन। कैन यू ब्रीफली डिस्क्राइब योर कोर बिजनेस एक्टिविटी?
So basically, Thinking Hat as a company has evolved over the years into a diverse business. So when we say core business, we actually started as a event and activation company where our primary focus was on, say, college activation, and we were one of the primary players in college activations. We created marquee campaign for colleges for top brands in the world, like Times of India, Hindustan Times. But our company has always believed in going into diversification mode because event is something will restrict the entire growth trajectory. Then we started with creating our own intellectual properties. One of the biggest IP that we created was No Boundaries, Nobo, where we got India, Pakistan singers Atif Aslam and Arijit Singh on one platform. So that is where we got an intellectual property business as part of one of our business lines. Then we moved forward to Bombay. We started our own office in Bombay, where we started with a new vertical which was into retail visual merchandising. And we were lucky enough to get Trent Limited. And when Trent Limited was actually expanding their business from West Side, that is where we actually entered into West Side. And now Zudio is something that we are doing in the retail visual merchandising category. So right from event and activation to then going into intellectual property, then retail virtual merchandising, and then we move towards creating our own content for OTT platforms. We actually wanted to make our own movies, but what happened, we have seen that recently the movie industry has evolved and a lot of OTT content is being now developed. So our first movie was actually developed as a movie, but it kind of turned out to be an OTT content, which was a blessing in disguise for us. Now we are actually creating OTT content a lot. So now, if you say in simple terms, our four business verticals that we talk about primarily are the event business and retail visual merchandising business. The other one is the content creation, which we divide into two. One is the movie production, right from OTT and even theaters. As we move along for future, we will make movies. And the other is intellectual properties. Just yesterday only, we have launched a 11 city tour as one of our content creation as an IP, which is a tour Udan Khatola, which is being done by Piyush Mishra. He will be doing it in 11 cities. And today it got shared by Anurag Kashyap and Kapil Sharma on their social handles. So do check that also. It is something that we have started, and it's good that today we are talking, and today only morning we got that shared by stalwarts in the industry.
दोस्तों जैसे गौरव सिंघानिया साहब ने बोला कि दे स्टार्टेड ऑफ विद ट्रेंड एंड वेस्ट साइड्स एंड ऑल, लेट मी टेल यू द अर्लियर कंपनी ऑफ द टाटा ग्रुप वाज Lakme was hived off, which was looked after by Ratan Tata's mother, and it was sold off to Hindustan Unilevers, and then the property was not sold off, only the business was sold off, and that is how West Side and all these companies had emerged. Am I right, Gaurav साहब?
Yeah.
अच्छा गौरव साहब, कुछ अपने प्रमोटर्स और उनके क्रेडेंशियल्स के बारे में बताइए।
So there are two main promoters. One is Rajesh Bhardwaj, who is also a founder. He has more than 25 years of experience in this industry. I mean, right from his college days in itself, he entered into that industry. He was fascinated by the college festivals, and he started his own company when he was studying in college. And that is how as I said, the company started with a college activation part. Though our company is 11 years old, but he started with a company called Campus Entertainment, which as a name suggests campus entertainment. So he has the 25 years of experience. He's a very sharp guy in event industry, very reputed guy in the event industry. Then he has this passion of making movies per se. He's a very forward looking guy. And that is how now his most of the time is into the part of movie development and intellectual property, where he and I kind of contribute. I personally have 15 plus year of experience working in big companies, Times of India, Future Group. So my background is also retail and brand management and corporate strategy. I have developed scalable business. I have done my MBA and I'm a gold medalist in MBA from KJ Somaya in Bombay. And with 15 years of experience in corporate strategy and working for Times of India. In fact, Thinking Hat used to be my client when I was, my vendor rather, when I used to be a client. So they were my agency. I had a very good relationship with their promoter, and he actually told me how, sir, we can expand the business. So over the past 8-9 years, I have been giving him strategic input to how to expand this business, and that is how the verticalization of this business has come in. And now this IPO is something that will take us to a exponential growth as what we are projecting.
Absolutely.
So this is about the promoter. There is one Shruti Singhania who plays the role. She is not a full-time person here, but she helps. She has a huge background. She is SRCC pass out, and she helps us with the finance aspect as a consultant here. So these are the two are the main promoters. The third one who is helping us with the entire strategy from a finance perspective is at the back end who leads this.
अच्छा सर, ये बताइए कि योर प्रेजेंस इज ऑलरेडी इनटू दिल्ली, नोएडा और महाराष्ट्र में तो हैं ही आप, लेकिन व्हाट आर द मेन स्टेट्स वेयर यू आर गोइंग टू ऑफर योर सर्विसेज?
So sir, we are not a city centric company. We operate nationally. In fact, just yesterday we did a project for Oppo in Ranchi itself. So we have a national presence. We have associates and all our strategic associates with us. In fact, last year we also did international project. This year we are planning to do something in Canada and Dubai as well. Okay. So in terms of the expansion phase, nationally we have been present for the past 10 years. The offices are only in Delhi and this thing, but we do business across the country. And in the next 1 to 2 years, we will also have start having decent presence internationally as well. So we have done it in the past, but now the focus will shift toward international presence as well.
Singhania sir, please tell us the core strength of your company.
So I'll say one of the core strengths is the promoters that we have. I mean, one is a hardcore experienced guy. Then I come from a background from a brand strategy and corporate strategy perspective. A finance person, as I mentioned, she has a very strong background with respect to that. Secondly, I would say one of the most important strength that we have is that the kind of diversified business that we are into. If we see, we don't actually compete in one business per se. The strong example is when COVID actually came in, we were the hardest hit industry at that time. I mean, ours was the industry that actually went to zero because of the nature of the business we have. But the way we have diversified our business, that is where our movie division actually came in the OTT, and the first OTT actually got released during that time. Okay. Then the retail visual merchandising, as the market started opening, the retail actually started to push, and that is how we could survive. Trust me, people say कि पत्थर फेंको एक इवेंट कंपनी है. हमारे साथ सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज यही है कि पत्थर फेंकने में इवेंट कंपनीज तो हैं, बट हमारे साथ डाइवर्सिफाइड ग्रुप नहीं है. So we never call ourselves as an event company. We are an entertainment and experiential company. And that is what our core strength is, that we are actually one of the only diversified business in the entire industry. In fact, you may not be able to find any business line that we have at present. There's none business. I can say it confidently that there's no other business who actually compete with us directly in all the fronts.
Singhania sir, आपकी जो, I would now come back to, this is the, what is your manpower size and how do you find trained, experienced and committed persons and how do you retain them?
Yeah. So currently we have 40 full-time employees based across Delhi and Bombay. But we want to keep our business since we do a lot of projects and everything. So we use most of the freelancers. We don't want to take up a lot of cost on us. So as and when the project come, we have a very hard model. We have a very set model where we have freelancers that we work on whenever a project come, rather than hiring them, and that is how we save the cost. Secondly, over the last 1 year, what we have started doing, and since this IPO started coming in, is that we have onboarded industry stalwarts as consultant in our company, and they are curating IPs for us. And when I say industry stalwart, these are big names who have worked in Times of India, because I myself have given 10 years to Times of India. So that is how I get them. I request them that now it's time you help me, and they are willing to just come. So as I said, the promoters are the strongest strength for us. So what has happened, both the promoters have literally gone into their own people whomsoever we know, and we take a lot of help, and they have now come on board to create a lot of stuff for us. So as I said, the Piyush Mishra example, the promoter in Bombay created that. Now I am working on an IP where Times of India, very senior person, I cannot reveal the name right now, but she's on board to kind of create that IP. So that is how we have structured our manpower, where we have fixed manpower and we are onboarding consultants to take it forward.
फ्रेंड्स, जहां पे गौरव सिंघानिया साहब ने बोला कि इनफैक्ट क्लोज एनकाउंटर्स के साथ इनके पास सारे प्रोफेशनल्स काम करते हैं, जैसे इन्होंने टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया का नाम लिया, एवरीबडी नोज व्हाट इज द स्टेटस ऑफ दिस पब्लिशिंग हाउस. देखिए बेनेट एंड कोलमन की आज क्या स्टैंडिंग है, द लार्जेस्ट सेलिंग न्यूज़पेपर्स इन इंडिया. हैट्स ऑफ टू पीपल इनफैक्ट हु हैव क्रिएटेड दीस काइंड्स ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. यहाँ पे सिंघानिया साहब, इन शॉर्ट में मैं वी आर रनिंग शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम, सो इन शॉर्ट में आपसे जानना चाहूंगा, आपके एक्सपेंशन प्लान्स में आर यू गोइंग टू हैंडल मोर ऑफ इवेंट्स और यू गोइंग टू एंटर सम न्यू वर्टिकल्स आल्सो? जो वर्टिकल्स आपने मेंशन किए, इसके अलावा कोई और न्यू वर्टिकल्स में जा रहे हैं क्या?
See, now the thing is, I think that currently we have, enough verticals, and we need to now kind of build on those verticals. I mean, there's no point on keep opening new verticals just for the sake of it. So now the focus is on that. We will focus towards our event, which has been our bread and butter for the past 7, 8 years, 10 years. We will focus on event and retail business, which will give us an organic growth. We see an organic growth in those businesses. Now comes the content part and intellectual property part, where we will be expanding a lot, because that is where we need to do a lot of work from now on. So this is something that we will be focusing heavily on.
Okay. Gaurav Saab, since you are coming up with the IPO, my main question would be that how do you propose to use the funds which you're going to raise now?
Yeah. So one is obviously hiring manpower, something that we want to do, manpower with respect to the content development thing that we want to create. Other is creating content. As we said, that content is something that we want to do, be it music, be it movies, be it intellectual property. So most of our money, a larger chunk of our money, will actually be invested in creating these content and IPs per se. Even the people that would be hired would be for these content only.
Okay. So यहाँ पे गौरव साहब, in fact, that was really nice, having a chat with you. You have given a very helicopter view of your company, and I wish you all the best for your all your ventures.
Thank you.